Hi, and welcome everyone to the June 2026 edition of Aging Matters. I'm Jessica Jones. I'm the director for the Berks County Area Agency on Aging. I'm glad all of you are tuning in today. We have a really great topic and some important information to share. I want to welcome my guest here, Dave Shallcross. He's from the Pennsylvania Attorney General's office. I want to just, before we get into talking to Dave about everything today, I want to just let everyone know why June is such an important month and what happens in the month of June every year here in Pennsylvania and nationally. June is actually Elder Abuse Awareness Month. Specifically on June 15th, it is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Elder abuse can be defined as a single or repeated act or lack of appropriate action occurring within a relationship where there is an expectation of trust which causes harm or distress to an older person. So obviously we are talking about elder abuse. It is a global social issue that affects health and human rights of millions of older persons worldwide, and an issue that deserves the international community's attention. Every year on June 15th, World Elder Abuse Day is commemorated in America and worldwide. As many in 1 in 10 Americans are abused or neglected each year. Only 1 in 14 cases of elder abuse come to authorities' attentions. We all play a critical role to focus on the attention of elder abuse. So really, it is very important when I read that to all of you and think about it. Our office, we receive reports of elder abuse, so it could be anything from financial exploitation to physical abuse, emotional abuse, caregiver neglect, or even self-neglect. So while we do those investigations, it's important to understand, and we are required to do those investigations through our agreement with the Pennsylvania Department of Aging. But one thing that we are definitely seeing as time has gone on, and even in the last couple years, is that more of an increase in financial exploitation is happening. So right now, what is happening is, for years, many years leading up to the last couple years, the most substantiated type of abuse was actually self-neglect. And now everything is sort of shifted, and financial exploitation is becoming the most substantiated type of abuse for older adults. So that's individuals 60 years of age and older. So really today, what I wanted to take the most of our time to talk about is, with Mr. Shallcross here, what is financial exploitation? How can this look for individuals? What can they do? Because we are seeing more and more scams. We're seeing more and more individuals falling victims to these scams, and the scams they're really good. These scammers are really good. So I'm going to kind of turn it over to you, Dave, to talk just a little bit about what you're seeing and the concerns that your office is dealing with, and really provide our audience with just some general education, because I feel like education is the most important piece that we can offer for individuals.
Absolutely, and thank you very much, Jessica. You know, our office takes a very, very strong position on protecting our older adults. Within the office, we have many different parts of the office that will cross over in this battle against the senior exploitation. And right off the start, my unit's the Senior Protection Unit. So we're tasked with educating the seniors, providing resources, materials, and navigating the complaint system, helping them get through that and giving them support and guidance. Also within the office and our Bureau of Consumer Protection, we have our scam squad, and they take scam complaints not to go after the bad guy, but to chase the money. Can we recover any funds for that victim? Because time is fleeting. When you're an older adult, you can't work overtime next week to make it up, right?
Right.
So what you have is what you have, and you need to protect it. We're on that case looking for those refunds, those recoveries. In our criminal division, we then have our financial exploitation team as special investigators, agents that are tasked with finding who did it, prosecuting, if possible, and trying to get great outcomes to better protect the seniors. So when we look at this in the big scope of things, you have unknown actors and known actors.
Right.
So when we talk about financial exploitation, we talk about, is it a person known to you that's in a position of trust? I think you mentioned that in your earlier definition. A person that's been tasked with that fiduciary responsibility to provide for that person. When that is the thief, that is financial exploitation, and our financial exploitation team would take those investigations. And a lot of times, sadly, it's over 0.5% of it is family members.
So that could be like a power of attorney
Yes.
or a niece or a nephew or a child.
Even a caregiver who's stopping in and checking on you, providing medical or non-medical assistance. We often see that as the perpetrator. And we're not saying that everyone that's involved is a potential perpetrator. There's a lot of great people doing great work, and we really count on them.
Right.
But it's the few bad apples. And we have to be able to look at that carefully and make those determinations. Is there a pattern of behavior? Is there evidence to pursue it? And then on the flip side, you have all the scams,
Right.
right? We were taught as children, don't talk to who?
Strangers.
There you go. But, as adults, we forget that lesson, and we want to be engaging, we want to be polite, and this is where things can occasionally go wrong. You're answering the phone. Maybe you're lonely, maybe you're homebound. Whatever the case is, you're expecting a call, but it's not who you thought.
Right.
And you engage. And that opens that door for the scammer. Emails, text messaging, letters in the mail, U.S. mail. Even face-to-face, if you're walking out of the post office, out of your bank, someone could approach you in the parking lot. Your own front door. Hey, this is that time of year. We're in the neighborhood. We're top-coating driveways. Fraud is all around us. So these are really grave concerns for our office. Attorney General Dave Sunday is very much about what more can we do and how do we get the message out. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and talk to your viewers right here in Berks County today.
Yeah, this is a really important topic because like I mentioned at the start of the show, we're seeing this increase. We're seeing more individuals that are actually falling victim to scams that, years ago it would be more so individuals that maybe had some cognitive sort of deficits. But that's not the case anymore. These scammers are they've gotten really smart and really sophisticated in how they're doing this. So can you talk to us a little bit and just provide some education around the sophistication of that and how that can impact people?
That's an excellent point to make. We see victims of all different ages. 18 to 25-year-olds are actually attacked more readily than seniors, but seniors lose more financially.
Right,
So
because they have more to lose financially.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So they have maybe a Social Security check, a pension, a paid-off mortgage, those type of assets, and the scammers are targeting. They're targeting our older adults. So like you said, in the past, it was like, oh, maybe they're having a little bit of a cognitive issue or this or that, and that still is the case occasionally. But it's much broader today. And I think a lot of it is simply the three factors that scammers use to be successful are timing, psychology, and emotional triggers.
Okay.
And that's the big one, emotional trigger. They can set up a scenario that logically you say, well, that makes sense. That sounds right. They'll have a shred of truth sometimes in the scam. They'll have a name of someone or an official. They'll take off the internet. They'll have a very official-looking page or logo or website, and they will get you to start to consider that this might be actually happening. And then comes the emotional trigger.
Okay.
Anything to get you to think not clearly at the moment. So let's take a few examples of emotions. Joy is an emotion. What kind of scam might use joy, do you think, Jessica?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I can't even think of an example.
Congratulations, you're our big
winning
winner.
The lottery, yes,
Right?
the lottery.
Now somebody's, oh my gosh.
Well, and we used to talk about lottery scams all the time.
And Publishers Clearinghouse, their name was misused for many, many years, as well as Raiders Digest and anything else they can come up with. But it's that moment that you get excited, and now you're not thinking clearly. did I enter the contest? Love is an emotion. So
Yep.
we hear about romance scams. Someone you meet online, on social media, and all of a sudden, it's just a casual conversation, but it's a long-term investment of the scammer. They'll not just hit and run one time. They'll keep you going for months and months, even years. I've had victims claim, well, yeah, I still talk to that person. And they're giving money because they're asking for it in promises of a relationship and continuous conversation and communication.
So when you talk about those types of scams, I think we've heard of scams where individuals think that they're actually they're like a celebrity or someone is reaching out to them.
Yes.
And then developing a relationship. Can you talk a little bit about that too?
That's the newest trend in what we call traditionally romance scams. So it's the celebrity aspect. And I've had victims say they've been reached out by Bruce Springsteen, Toby Keith, Johnny Depp, Denzel Washington, all big names. But here's the thing. How do they know to reach you? If you pause and think, like, why are they calling me? And when they're asking for money, you don't think they have enough money? But people feel like, oh, I have this new connection to someone of that caliber, that celebrity status. I want to be friends with Johnny Depp. I want to be friends with Denzel, right?
Right.
These are like, wow, once-in-a-lifetime moments. And if I can help that person, I'm going to do that. And they fall victim to the fraud.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's something that I feel like when we talk about these things, another important point, and I think you can kind of give me more depth to this, but how should families, so let's say you're a caregiver for your mother or your father, or not even a caregiver necessarily, but just someone that, you have a family member or a close neighbor who you suspect that something like this is going on. What are some of your suggestions around the types of conversations you can have with people to really kind of put some of these things in check?
Well, there's a lot of things you can do. Not all will be successful.
Okay.
Again, it depends on that person's cognitive ability. It depends on how deep down the rabbit hole they are, if they even will admit that they're engaging in this conversation with a celebrity or a romantic interest. Even any of the scams. This seems to be across the board. Some victims will refuse to tell you it's happening. I had a case where I was asked to interview a woman and speak with her on behalf of her family. Her family came to me, and they said, would you come over to the house and talk to so-and-so because we're afraid she's going to lose her home and everything. And I agreed to sit down with this person and their family, and she would not admit it, even though the family had copies of checks, withdrawals, emails and text messaging. They had proof that she was engaged with this so-called celebrity person. And, the best thing you can do is, first off, calmly discuss how this is a trend across the United States and the world, that you're not alone in this, and that it's nothing that person has done wrong. They've been misled. And we just want to kind of redirect you so you don't continue to lose your finances. And if you do that in a calm manner, sometimes that's enough to get someone to think a little bit about it, a little more seriously. Other times you have to go a step further. If you have copies of the images, photos that they are sharing online, you can go to tools like Google Lens and do an image search and find that same image of that photo of that great-looking guy or that beautiful woman has been used on 18 different sites for the last 2.5 years under 50 different names. Sometimes when somebody sees that, they go, oh my gosh, that is the person I thought I was speaking to and was sharing these great stories with me. Well, could be AI. Artificial intelligence can create a person that never has existed and have them contain a continued conversation, even on a video chat, for about 45 minutes without skipping a beat. And you would swear, hey, I'm talking to a real person, but you're not.
But you're not.
It's a fictitious character created in the computer, but it displays emotion, it pauses, and has like great conversation and responds to your questions and comments in real time. AI has gotten so advanced, it is very difficult to tell, am I speaking to a person or is it a chat bot? And that's a problem. And if you show the articles online and the video examples of how AI is being used to defraud people, let the victim see that family member. Let them sit and share that information with you and just say, we just don't want this to be harmful to you. We're looking out for your best interest. And there's other things you can restrict their ability to be online as often without somebody kind of have an idea what sites they're going to. There's phone line managers that can reduce the number of calls and who's permitted to call into a number. We can sort the mail, pre-sort the mail, make sure they're not getting harmful contacts by the mail, and put blocks on email users that you don't want contacting the victim. But, you know, it's a hard conversation, especially if it's your parent. No parent wants to feel that their kid's telling them what to do. I don't care how young or how old you are. They don't want that to happen. So it's a very delicate conversation. And there's tips online about how to host these conversations. And I would do that before sitting down with someone. The thing is to remain calm. Don't accuse them of anything. Do not raise your voice. Don't make threats. If you do this again, we're going to take away the car. We're going to, you know, those type of things are not going to work. And it's really unnecessary. You're traumatizing that person again and again if you do that.
Okay. So when you were talking earlier, you mentioned the 3 sort of triggers, and one of them was urgency. And I feel like we didn't, I want to kind of circle back with that because I think the urgency piece is so critical. So can you help our viewers understand what you mean by that? I know what you mean, but I think it's important for them to really realize. So when they're triggering that emotion, but then on top of it, the urgency.
The phone rings, you get a text or an email, perhaps, and the storyline is, Grandma, Grandpop, I'm in so much trouble. Right away, you start to get excited. There's that emotional trigger, right? The psychology is you care and love for your family, you're going to react to it. And the timing is, I'm in jail or I've been in an accident and I've caused someone harm. I didn't mean to do this, but I'm sitting here now at the police station and they want to transfer me to the jail. I have 2 hours to post a bond. You have to run out and get a gift card. You have to run out and do a wire transfer of funds to the jail, or my public defender, my attorney is here. Don't tell mom and dad, but you only have 2 hours. That's the urgency. And you're already upset, and you're going, Jimmy or Susan, what's wrong? Your mind is at a race because you're thinking, what do I have to do to protect my grandchild? And people race out the door. Instead, I want people to stop, pause, and think and go, well, wait, how would I verify this information? Because why is Jimmy or Susan calling me and not mom or dad? Well, they're going to have an answer for that. We don't want to be in trouble with mom and dad. We keep this between us. It's a secret. That's another trick. Don't tell anyone. Grandma, I'll work hard. I'll get a job after school. I will pay you back. As soon as I'm done college, I'll have the money for you. You have to pay this bond. It's $10,000. There you go. That sense of urgency, you only have 2 hours. It has to be done now. Don't tell anyone. These are the red flags of fraud all across the board. And people react because they don't want anything to happen to that person. Now, let's flip that story a little differently. This is the courthouse. You've missed jury duty this morning, Miss Jessica. The sheriff has a warrant for your arrest, right? And we've heard this in many counties. And I know you've heard this in Berks County. We were discussing that before the show. So right away, people think, oh my gosh, what do I need to do? Well, you don't want to be arrested, so you have to find a way to make a payment to the court. And then you'll be rescheduled for jury duty. Not true. That is not what's going to happen. And I don't know any jail, any court, or any really legitimate company that's going to demand that you make a payment instantly, nor are they going to demand that it's a wire transfer, a gift card, even a phone app like Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, nor are they going to demand that you go out to a Bitcoin ATM and get cryptocurrencies to send. These are all warnings that there's something amiss. This is not how companies and businesses and governments conduct business with you.
Right.
You know, if it's a warrant for your arrest, you're going to have somebody at your front door in uniform. You're not going to have a phone call, a text, an email, and they're not going to threaten you. You know, no one's going to do that.
So you mentioned another sort of key word and something that I know you and I talked about that you definitely wanted to mention. Can you talk to our viewers a little bit about Bitcoin? Because I know this is continually coming up. And again, with the sophistication around these types of scams, what type of scams are you seeing with Bitcoin? What exactly are you what's the circumstances around it, and what are the asks, and what should be some of the red flags?
Often the Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is a brand of cryptocurrency, and there's over 1,000 cryptocurrencies out there. But think of it like soda. You know, there are so many brands of soda, but the number one brand is Coca-Cola, right? So the number one brand of crypto is Bitcoin. So people always refer to Bitcoin.
Okay.
And the scammer is going to use Bitcoin as a payment method because it's very difficult to recover and detect who's holding it. So these are the reasons that Bitcoin has become popular with the scams. And they may tell you that it's an investment opportunity. You know, there's a thing called pig butchering, which is a terrible name. But what it means is that the victim is going to be strung along and told, this is an investment opportunity. You're going to make a lot of money in this particular crypto. I need you to go out and purchase some. And then you're going to deposit it in your crypto wallet. And these are all terms that people don't really understand if you're not involved in that type of digital asset. And they're a little confusing, the blockchain and this and that. And people just go, yeah, just tell me what to do. Well, there's your first mistake. When you're allowing someone to direct you to that level, they can direct you to do anything they want, and you follow along, you're out your money.
Right.
And crypto is one of those type of tools. They'll tell you that this investment's going to pay off, and you see a payoff. They show you your account. They go, look, you've already made $3,000 on your first $5,000 investment. That's almost double. It's crazy. And we understand that this particular investment is going to jump again. So it prompts you to put more into it to get more out of it.
Yeah, because then you keep thinking you're going to make more and make more and make more
and they're showing you the balance is going up. So you're very excited about this opportunity. And they'll even convince you to, why don't you withdraw $500 and go out on the town for a weekend? Take $1,000 of your money out.
Your own money.
It's your own money, and you barely did anything to get to it. So just go ahead, spend a little. Well, you do. So now you feel really confident. Hey, it's real because I was able to get that money back and use it.
Wow.
That's the psychology. The scammer now has you convinced that this is absolutely legit when it's not. And the pig butchering part is they fatten up the bank and then cut you out from under it. So then once they see that it's gotten to a point and you start slowing down on your deposits, they clean it out and you got a zero account.
Wow.
And they'll direct you to go to an exchange online to get Bitcoin. So the kind of way Bitcoin works, in a real simple terms to keep it short, you need to go to an exchange or a Bitcoin ATM to make a transfer of US dollars to cryptocurrency, to Bitcoin.
Okay.
And you can do that. And there's US-based operations, but the scammers aren't using them. They're using foreign exchanges that are the company in another country that's in control of that exchange point. So when you do make that transfer, we can't serve a search warrant or a subpoena because that country doesn't cooperate with U.S. law. We can no longer chase that money because they won't cooperate.
Wow.
Now, the blockchain is basically a big ledger. Think of your checkbook. You're recording deposits and withdrawals. And that goes into computers. And it goes to multiple computers, and it has to match, and then it's verified and locked. You cannot change the dates, times, and amounts that move into wallets. Once it's locked in, it's locked in. Well, that sounds like a great security feature, except the identification of who owns the wallet is anonymous.
Oh.
So I can see the wallet, I can see your money, I can see where it's being used, but I can't tell you who has it. And it's an unregulated industry. Not one government or operation has control over it. So it's the wild, wild west of finances. My tip is simple. Anyone demanding that you make a payment or a transaction involving crypto or very convincingly telling you that this is the newest thing, you need to do it, don't.
Okay.
If you can't afford to lose that amount of money today without shedding a tear, then don't put it at risk. Find other means. And again, the key word for everything is verify. Find a trusted source. If it's someone you just met, walk away from it. If they're calling to pretend to be a company you know, maybe your electric company, your gas company, water company, your bank, you have the customer service number rather, on every statement and every bill and every document you have.
Right.
That's your trusted source. Look up the number, contact them directly, and ask, is my account status in jeopardy? If you get the Easy Pass notification by text, don't click the button to take care of the problem, because if you click that, they can put spyware in your phone, in your laptop, in your home computer.
Okay.
You want to go to your account, log in separately, independently, don't click links, no shortcuts, and check the status of your account. It will tell you if you have a concern that needs your immediate attention or not.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dave. We could go on for a long time about all of this.
Sadly, yes, we could.
I know. So really, for the viewers today, this kind of gives you a taste of what's going on and the things that we're looking at on a day-to-day basis, and really trying to sensitize individuals to some of these scams and stop it before it actually even becomes an issue. So I really do appreciate your time. I know, Dave, you have a couple phone numbers. Is there one that you want to really, is it the Bureau of Consumer Protection too? And
yeah, anyone can call the Bureau of Consumer Protection with a concern at 1-800-441-2555.
Okay.
And if you're 60 and older, you can call our Senior Protection Unit, and that number is 1-866-623-2137.
Okay. Thank you. Also, to throw out another number would be for our office, if you do have concerns and you're really not sure what to do and you want to talk to someone, we have intake workers available. You can always call us at our main number at 610-478-6500 and ask to speak to an intake worker, and we can walk through some of these issues and really help you think through some things and deal with some of the concerns that you're talking about, the emotional and the urgency of these things. Also, two last things I wanted to make an announcement on very briefly. Our Farmers Market Nutrition Program for this year has opened up. So they are now available. Eligible participants can receive $25 in vouchers that can be used to purchase locally grown produce at participating farm stands. So you can contact our office again at that number, 610-4, oh my God. I am totally blanking
okay.
on the phone number right now. But for
See, everyone has these moments, right?
right, 478-6500. Ask to speak to someone, and you can you can do an application online. And there is available information on our www.berksaging.gov. Again, or by calling our office. And I hope this has been a really educational type of informational session for individuals. If you need more information, if you know someone that actually wants to do, if you need a presentation, you can always call my office. You can call the Attorney General's office. We're always out there. Dave's out there all the time.
All the time.
Doing educational stuff. I see him all around Berks County. I don't know how he does it.
And a matter of fact, on June 15th, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, on your PBS channel, you'll see a program from the Office of Elder Justice in the Courts in Pennsylvania courts, and that will be broadcasted on June 15th about financial exploitation scams and some of the services available through the courts.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, our office number, because I messed it up earlier, is 610-478-6500. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great summer.